Joel, how do you describe what social engineering is?
Well, I mean, it may sound like we're talking about whether an engineer is introverted or extroverted. Can they mingle at a party? But that's really not what it's about, right? Not in the cybersecurity world. Um, we're talking about a bad guy representing themselves as someone else, for the purpose of tricking an employee or help desk person, something like that, into doing something they probably shouldn't do. Years ago, it was email scams where you'd get something that said, "Hey, I'm a Nigerian prince. I need you to help me move money," something like that. But nowadays it's significantly more sophisticated, right? I mean, they know a lot of information about people. They call up the help desk and they get them to think that they're someone they're not. And that's sort of the idea of social engineering. We've seen a lot of examples of this costing companies a lot of money recently.
Okay, so it's kind of impersonation and a lie to get people who are well-meaning to do something that helps an attacker do something really nefarious,
Yeah,
damaging.
that's
Yeah.
definitely a way to look at it.
So do you have an example of one that you like to use when you talk about it?
Well, I think the most recent, sort of high profile example would be the MGM Grand attack, last year. The attacker basically knew a bunch of information about a senior sysadmin, um, called up the help desk and said, "Hey, I'm in Las Vegas at a conference," which the person actually was. And I've lost my phone. I can't find it. I've got to do an update. And you basically knew a bunch of information about the person and convinced the help desk person to reset their password and their two-factor authentication. And now all of a sudden they got in and caused, depending on where you look, somewhere around $100 million worth of damage to MGM. And it was a huge ransomware attack. I mean,
So
ransomware is over like $1 billion market right now. So it's a huge problem for companies.
so you were in Las Vegas
Yeah.
for a cybersecurity conference, and you were stuck in that hotel. So you actually not only
Yeah.
did MGM Grand have problems, but it created trouble for a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. We were actually at a different property than the MGM Grand, but one of the MGM Grand owned properties, and we couldn't check in for like 3 hours. The systems were completely down. Everything had to be done manually on paper. So, I mean, it was definitely a significant impact that I personally, felt. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for the explanation.
perfect. Thanks, Mark.